Happy Friday, beautiful souls. This is Shamama hunting out with a new message for the twins for this weekend. Happy May Cinco de Mayo for those of you who celebrate. It is Friday, May 5th, and I hope everybody is preparing for an amazing weekend. I want to start by always thanking everyone for subscribing, liking, sharing my videos and my Facebook page messages. I also want to thank everyone who was on the conference call that we had this week. We had a really super time. It was super fun. We got lots of questions asked. We got to laugh a little bit. We did a really awesome fear clearing kind of little meditation that we did together. It was super awesome, and I want to thank you guys who did come onto the call. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you guys. I like to be able I really liked being able to talk to a bunch of us, a bunch of us talking at once. It was really awesome. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, always thank you to everyone who has reached out for private sessions with me, readings, healings, so on and so forth. You guys are awesome, so thank you. Okay, so lots of little business stuff to talk about, you guys. Lots of stuff is going on. So I don't even really know. Oh, before I forget, okay, wait. So next week is the full moon, right? So, and because the energies have been a little wonky and there's a lot of purging going on for people, a dear friend of mine suggested, or offered, I should say, that she was going to write a prayer for us to do next week, probably Monday or Tuesday. I will put that out in a video before the moon. For ourselves, for our twins, and for the collective, to kind of just pull our energy and kind of try to clear some of what's going on for the collective, for ourselves, for our twins. So I look forward to that, either Monday or Tuesday, you guys. So hit that subscribe button so you know when the next video will be out. So then you'll get notified when it does come out, so you can be part of this all. Okay, so what is going on with the energies? Where do we start? Okay, I think I'm going to start with a lot of the divine masculine twins have been stepping up, especially the first wave, have been stepping back into the picture, coming back from hiding, shall we say, or isolation. And they took a couple big steps forward, and then all of a sudden it seems like they retreated again. What is this about? Okay, so as there's been this huge pressure through the month of April on these karmic patterns, karmic relationships, their souls are stepping up. They are truly coming more and more and more into the clarity that they need to do something about it. But as that 5D self gets stronger, the ego is going to try to battle that every chance it gets. So it's almost like they take a couple steps forward with standing in their truth and coming into clarity, and then all of a sudden, roar, this 3D, very physical world person starts to manifest again as a way of trying to suppress the soul and the soul's desire. And a lot of the divine feminine have seen this coming up with their masculine counterparts. And what that has done is that has kind of pushed the divine feminine into this huge fear and doubt purge that has been going on for about the last week or so, really intensely the last several days. I am hoping and praying that this is our last big fear and doubt purge, because it has been freaking intense, as many of you are aware of. But let's kind of talk about where all of this is stemming from. So a lot of the divine feminine got really, really super excited when their divine masculines reached out. Okay? Granted, you deserve to be excited. But what happens is the divine masculine reaches out, the divine feminine starts to get really, really super excited, and they're like, oh my God, this is it, this is it, this is it. And what happens as their excitement gets up, their expectations start to come back into the picture. They think that, well, the masculine's back. This must be it. Yes, union is here. But this is all the little prep work now. This is like, you plan the wedding, but you got to make the plans before you get to the wedding. Well, that's kind of what's happening at this point, is that we are, really locking things down, tidying up all the loose ends, purging those last of those pieces that need to go. So anyway, okay, so the masculine reaches out, the feminine gets super excited, expectations start to happen, and lo and behold, what happens as soon as we throw expectations into the mix? The masculine and the feminine both get triggered. These triggers are, once again, a chance to show us the places that we still have to heal, still have to work on, old templates, old conditions that we need to let go. So we've been triggered again. We are in this place of purging and healing again. And with that purging and healing comes distancing. There has to be some isolation, some solitude, some time to go within, not just for the divine feminine, but for the masculine also. They're going through the ringer super, super hard right now. They're really feeling pushed. They're now at the point where, they're back in this 3D ego, a lot of them. So they're trying to fight back against what their heart and their soul wants. It's not going to last. It's not going to last, because God is giving another huge, huge push to the divine masculine, starting, any day now, basically, and coming up and through next week, and maybe for the next 4 or 5 weeks. The hand of God is stepping in, and the pressure that is going to be exerted upon the divine masculine to do what is now God's will to be done is going to happen. This is like those final pieces of the tower that still have to come crashing down for them. If they're not going to do it themselves, God is going to do it, and God's going to do it in a big way. In a much more dramatic way than if we just go willingly and say, okay, I'm going to go do this and take care of it. Once God starts pushing, it's going to be a lot more to deal with. So, but the divine masculine is feeling that. And this is the way things are going for them right now. With that, which is really interesting, a lot of the divine feminines have found people popping up in their lives, asking them out on dates and pursuing them, and all of these things, which is really interesting, because it's been very quiet for the divine feminine in that arena, as they've been so dedicated to their twin and what's going on. But right now, because the masculine has sort of made their appearance and then withdrawn again, and the feminine is purging all of these doubts and fears, lo and behold, we've got, people coming into the mix again to sort of test the waters, to see. And I really feel like it is a test. It is an assessment of where, or an evaluation of where you are in your journey, how committed you are to your twin and this divine love. So, and having faith in that you are supposed to be with your twin. That's not to say, and I will never tell somebody, if you feel guided to go off and be with a karmic partner, a soulmate, I may not agree with doing that. That's not in my picture. That's not what I want for my journey. But that doesn't mean that I don't support you in honoring what you feel that you need to do for yourselves and your journey. There's a very delicate balance to this. Is, as much as we are on this path together, it is our own individual journey that we need to focus on. And what works for me may not work for somebody else, and that's okay. And vice versa. It's a simple matter of doing what resonates in your soul and truly asking yourself, what nourishment is your soul getting from whatever it is you're doing? And if you can't find any nourishment in it, if you can't find a good reason to be doing something from a loving, healthy place, then you shouldn't be doing it. I mean, that's the good guide. Okay, so we've got the feminine in all of these doubts and fears being triggered. We've got the masculine stepping back up into their 3D ego again. We've got the hand of God coming down and kind of like putting more intense pressure, turning up the heat more on that boiling pot until it just blows the lid. That's what we're working into. So I hope all of that kind of makes sense. Was there anything else I needed to say about that before I move on? Oh, and I want the divine feminine, I mean, again, you do what you guys want, but what I'm being told is allow your masculine to go silent. Allow them to withdraw. Allow them to be in isolation and quiet, but continue sending love and support for them, because they really are going through the ringer, you guys. Whether you physically see it in the 3D or not, they are emotionally going through it hard. And it really isn't any different than when we went through it. And that's what we have to keep coming back to, is that respect for their process, the respect for understanding. We were there. We went through it. Give them the time and the space and the solitude they need. Let them come around at their own time. So yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say about that. Okay, so there's also one other thing I wanted to talk about, and that is truly finding the beauty and the honor and the privilege of being on this journey. And this is actually going to kind of play into the cards, because there's a general appreciation that we really need to have and understand. And I was reading this book last night. It's The Way of the Essenes, Christ's Hidden Life Remembered. And I'm only on chapter 2, so I can't even tell you how the book is so far, really, guys. But I just started it because I was drawn to this whole thing about the Essenes. And there's this a sentence in the beginning of the 4th chapter that says, "The teaching you will receive here is not vouchsafed to all. It is a great privilege. You must always remind yourself of this and never complain." And I thought about it, and I'm like, wow, as soon as I read that, like, I pulled out my little highlighter and went, that is this journey. This journey, this huge process that we have undertaken, that we have chosen, it is a gift. It is not a gift that has been given to everyone. As we know, divine angelics, yada, yada, yada. This is a very special and privileged place to be right now. And although it is painful, and although it has been difficult and just agonizing at times, there is such a sheer beauty in this. And we really need to come back to a place of understanding that what we are going through is sacred, 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 sacred on such an amazing level that nothing compares to this. That this is for, you know, the true warriors, the true souls who are rising up to tackle this mission that we are on. And we do need to honor it. And we do need to respect it. And I kind of do feel like we need to stop bitching and complaining, because this is a great honor. This is truly a great honor of and testament to faithfulness, to understanding our roles and our missions in this journey. So it's enough about that. I did pull a reading for today. What did I use? The Modern Spellcasters Tarot and the Energy Oracle cards. Now, what was really interesting, you guys, about the way this reading came out is 3 cards flipped out of the Spellcaster Tarot deck, like together in a clump, and they're all major arcanas. And the message I got with it is that this is sort of the underlying energy for what is happening right now. So I'm going to kind of start with that. I don't know, do I start with that or do I start with the other cards? Crap, because they kind of play in on each other. Okay, I'm going to start with the other cards first, actually, the Energy Oracle. And the first card for the Divine Masculine is the Angel of Balance, and it came out in reverse. And as you guys know, I don't do a lot of reversal readings, But this is truly indicative of what's happening for the masculine. This wasn't like a fluke that this came out backwards, because they are truly at a place of complete imbalance right now, the masculine, okay? The angel of balance, there's a complete lack of balance right now in the masculine. As they are purging, as they are healing, as they are struggling between this war between their 5D and their 3D selves, there is a lack of self-care for the masculine right now. There is a lack of putting themselves first. There is a lack of just truly mental, spiritual, physical, and emotional well-being for them right now. Their world is being put upside down, okay? And so the next card that I get for the masculine with that then is the Healer of the Ages, okay? And this talks about their needing to be upside down right now in order to come into this deep soul healing that they are doing. I mean, this is big stuff that the masculine is healing. And this card just shows that they are being protected through this healing process. And that they are open to it. Their souls are truly open to the process of doing their healing work right now. So allow them to be out of balance and upside down. If you're a divine masculine watching this reading, call to your angels. Ask your angels to come in and to help you find your balance, find your steady footing right now. And ask them to help you heal. Ask them to come in and remove the things that are hurting you from your life. So I'm going to skip over to the feminine next. And the first card for the feminine is all tied up. Okay? And it's about change. It's about change again for the feminine. Right now, with the fears and the doubts and the purging that is going on, and the fact that the masculine has withdrawn again somewhat and kind of stepped back into that 3D ego that we saw starting to crack, the feminine is like, what the fuck is going on here? And feeling constrained by all of this, and feeling tied up, and feeling burdened, and beginning to have those doubts and fears, because they're like, what is going on with these masculine? So we're kind of tying ourselves up with the fears and the doubts, because when the masculine act the way they act, it puts us in a place of losing faith sometimes. And it makes us confused. And the silence is deafening from the masculine at times. But the feminine has to understand that silence is not a reflection of the feminine. It's a reflection of the masculine and where they're at. So we need to untie ourselves from all of these things. We need to understand and step back into the true appreciation of this gift. And that's the next card that we actually got for the Divine Feminine, is the Appreciation card. Step back and appreciate the process. Step back and appreciate what your masculine is going through. Step back and appreciate what you yourself are going through. It's a time for the masculine to isolate. It's also a time for the feminine to continue to rest. It's like we all need to get into this place of comfort right now. And really just rest, because what's happening is the divine, the God, the heavens, universe, source is truly taking control of the reins now. And I'm going to skip now to the next set of cards, and then we're going to get back to the last two cards I got for the union cards. So the first set of cards that I said was kind of like the overall energy of what's happening is, the first card is the Temperance card. Okay, and this is truly the divine, the angels, God, now taking this all into his or her own hands. They are mixing the potion. They are truly making the alchemy in the heavens now of what is going to transpire, of taking control of what's happening. I feel like this mixing of the bottles is like the masculine 3D and 5D, you know, like here's the ego, here's the 5D, and they're just mixing and mixing and mixing until they get the blend right, so they can step into whatever it is they need to step into and be pushed to do the things they need to do. So it's truly like the hand of God coming in and taking control over the way things are now going. And what I love is the next card we got, and like I said, these are all major arcana cards, is the Chariot. So as this alchemy is being done, it's like, okay, mix, mix, mix. Now put it in the horse. It's like, give the horse this little drink of this mix and whip it on the ass, and that chariot is going. Okay, so this alchemy is what's bringing the fire. It's what's making the movement happen now, for the feminine and the masculine. It's like setting this chariot loose. It's like coming into earth. It's you know, and it's funny because this plays into one of the other cards that I'll show you guys in a minute, but you know, this beautiful lotus is bloom. It is full bloom. It's like it's the alchemy that has made the lotus bloom, and it's now set this chariot into motion, and it's coming into the earthly plane. You know, right now it's in the 5D, and it's getting ready to land into the 3D, and it's going to be delivering all this growth and beauty with it. So the next card that, and okay, and what's beautiful, here we go again, is, you know, I notice this stuff as I look at the cards as I'm reading. The next card is the Star card. And to me, this Star card talks about the fire of hope. Truly, this is the fire of hope being set into motion, into the 3D world. And what I just noticed is, as I'm looking at the Chariot card, is you see all these little stars that are around the chariot. Well, these same little stars are around the Star card. You know, it's the actual bringing and setting for motion into the 3D world so our wishes can come true. And these, and you know, she's holding these two pots. This is truly now will be coming into balance. So it's like mixing the alchemy, setting the fire, getting it all in motion, bringing it down into the 3D, and then truly experiencing the full fire of hope in a balanced way. I mean, she is just standing there in all of her power and glory, and very stable and very solid and very secure. Both of these pots are equally balanced. She's pouring equal amounts out of each one. This is the stage we're getting to, you guys. This is the stage where the divine masculine and the divine feminine are fully, once again, there's that integration still happening of coming fully into balance. So what that leads us to, you guys, is the union cards. And the first union card we got is the walking away. And the walking away is for the masculine coming out of this unbalanced state, and the feminine being all tied up. We're done with that. As this chariot flies through the sky, we are now able to walk away from the things that have been holding us back. You know, we're walking through the garden gate. We're ready to step into, you know, the Garden of Eden, like I've said. And what I just noticed that's super cool is, like, there's this little, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's this little like fairy glimmer thing in the top corner. And again, I feel like, wow, that's this chariot like flying in, you know, like coming in for a landing. I don't know if you guys can see this or if I'm holding this up, but it's like, it's flying in, it's right there, it's lighting up the sky, and she's getting ready to go meet it as she walks through that garden gate. It's this starting over, it's walking away from the crap. And this is what we're all being pushed to do. These fear purges and doubt purges that are happening, you guys, are forcing us to release these last pieces. And God, I pray and hope, and I have faith that these are our last big purges, please. But as we continue to walk away from the things that hold us back, we move into, and this is the best card of the reading, you guys, the Happy Family card. Okay, this is the last union card for this reading. And it's funny because, you know, it's having all of the wishes under the rainbow, your pot of gold filled, everything that you've truly wanted manifesting into the physical world. This is that stable foundation. This is, you know, everything that you've hoped for, okay? All your wishes under the stars are being granted. So understand that it is happening. Just because, again, I can't reinforce enough that just because things don't look that way on the 3D level doesn't mean that it's not happening. we really need to step into just having a complete and total appreciation for the journey, you guys. Keeping in our faith, honoring ourselves, our connection with the divine, and our twin. And not giving up faith, not losing faith in our twin, putting as much faith in our twin and trust in our twin as we do in God. And I really came to that realization the other night. It's like I was sitting outside. It was like, oh God, I don't know, 4 in the morning. And I was just sitting out there, you know, listening, and there was like a bird chirping at 4 in the morning. And then there was like this little fox coyote thing that like walked past. And I live like in the suburbs, but like not in the country. So there shouldn't have been a little fox guy out there. And I kind of just sat there, and he just kind of sat there and stared at me. And it was like, do you believe in God? Was the message. Do you believe in God and everything that is possible under the hands of God? And I was like, yeah, I do. I really, really do. And the fox just kind of looked at me, and they're like, then just have that faith in your twin, because your twin is you, and you are him or her, and they are God, and we are all connected. And if we're all connected, then all we can do is have complete faith and trust in the process, in each other. So yeah, so I hope that makes sense for you guys. You know, I always say, focus on yourselves first. Let your twins do what they're doing. You do what you're doing. Walk your path. You know, you're walking alongside each other, maybe a little staggered at times. You know, maybe there's obstacles that get in the way, but just know that the paths are going to come back together exactly in the most divine time. You know, can't force a flower to bloom, you guys. So I just want to remind you that, and this is something that came up in the call yesterday. If for any of you who were on the call, you'll know I said this. The answer is love. The answer to everything is just fucking love. So stay in that place of love, and don't lose it. Don't lose it. Appreciate every moment of this journey, you guys, because it's taking us to the most amazing places. So with that, I'm going to just end now. Have a wonderful, beautiful weekend. I am going to put out a video again, like I said, Monday or Tuesday probably, with a amazing, beautiful prayer / meditation that we'll do together, and kind of just pooling our energies and sending up a lot of good vibes out to the, you know, for the collective, to the universe. Hit the subscribe button. Want sessions? www.shamamahuntingowl.com. You can look at this, look at the information there on my website to schedule and book. And that's it, you guys. I'm sending so much love and light, gratitude and blessings, always, beautiful souls. Have an amazing weekend, and we'll talk early in the week. I love you guys. Bye.